recognize all the imbalances of because of how they affect your life and how they affect your purposeful life and all the energies and all the relationships and all that good stuff. So thank you all for joining. Hello, hello in Facebook world. Thank you for joining me. I am talking today about the heart chakra, its meaning, its purpose, and how imbalances can actually be really, you know, an issue in your lives and how they actually manifest and how they present themselves in your life. So we're going to get all into that goodness right now. Okay, so as a reminder, I've been going over all the major 7 chakras. Now, for those of you who don't know, there's over 100 different chakras that are part of our bodies, and they're part of our auric field and all the different levels of our energy. But we've been covering the major 7 because these are the ones that, well, one, they're the most common, and they're the ones that seem to affect our 3D lives the most at this point. We've covered the root chakra, the sacral chakra, the solar plexus, the heart, and now today we're covering the throat chakra. And so what I love to go over is, first of all, what it is, its meaning, and then I kind of go into some of the details and some of the crystals that you can use and, you know, other methods that you can use to actually bring balance to your chakra and how it balances your whole body. So that's what we're going to talk about today. And I'm wearing blue in case you hadn't noticed, because guess what? Blue is the color of the throat chakra. So every chakra, as you saw in the image, has a comparable color attached to it. So all the way from red to orange to yellow to green and now to blue. So those are the different colors that are connected to that, to all the different chakras. So let's get into it. Today, we're talking about blue. And blue is for the throat chakra. And I already have my crystals ready for you all so that you can understand what things you can use, what tools that you can use to actually bring balance to that area of your body. So here's a couple of questions for you all. Do you find it hard to be your authentic self? Do you find it difficult to be honest with yourself and other people? Do you struggle with miscommunication in your relationships, or do you feel sometimes anxious during conversations? Well, it might not just be something going on in your mind. It could also be a imbalance in your throat chakra, which is what we're going to talk about today. So let's get into it. Let's dive in and see what that looks like and how you can bring it all to balance and feel more comfortable in those areas. So at this point, like I said, we've covered a lot of information. We've covered the 101 of all the chakras in general, and then we've also covered some of the crystals that support the major ones that we've started talking about. So we've covered the root chakra, the sacral, the solar plexus, the heart, and today we're talking about the throat chakra. So we're going into details about that one. And if you haven't seen all the other videos, feel free to look into my IG account where I've posted all of the rest of the videos, and also in my YouTube account. And if you are in my group, feel free to browse all the videos in there as well. And I'm happy to answer any questions about any of these chakras and how they impact your lives. So like I said, today we're going to talk about the throat chakra. So its original name is Vishuddha. I'm sorry, Vishuddha, I should say, Vishuddha. And the color of the chakra is blue. That's why I'm wearing blue today. And that word, Vishuddha, actually means especially pure. And what that means is that it actually relates to the communication and your ability to understand and speak your truth purely. So it's about communicating through, verbally, how you express yourself, authentically, basically. Now, interestingly, there's obviously a connection between your heart and your throat. And actually some of the crystals that we're going to talk about today are linked sometimes to both the heart and the throat, because they're in proximity to each other, but they're also very much in alignment to working together. So, true to its name, it's located obviously in the throat. It's connected to your jaw, to your neck, to your mouth, and to your thyroid, which is right around this area here. And its purpose is truly authentic expression. That's what this throat chakra is all about. Just authentically being able to express yourself and, be connected fully to your heart and just, saying whatever it is that's most authentic and true to who you are. Now, generally, when the throat chakra is in balance, you feel empowered to speak your truth and communicate with others. And you may be inspired to make, some voice. You might want to use your voice or make noise with your breath in song or by writing. So there are other ways of communicating and expressing yourself, but mostly the throat chakra is connected to your voice and basically expressing yourself through sound and voice. Okay. So let's talk about what it means to be off balance now, because now we know, to be truly in balance with your throat chakra, it means that you're truly expressing yourself through your throat chakra, speaking your voice, speaking your truth, speaking who you truly are. So what does it look like to be off balance with that particular chakra? Well, it's pretty obvious, right? From a mental, emotional perspective, you basically ignore your inner voice. How many of us, myself included in the past, have ignored our inner voice and, kind of were guided by others or, did the opposite of what our true voice and our true authentic self was telling us to do? We've all done it at some point, right? Another way of it being off balance is feeling afraid of expressing yourself in any kind of way or having trouble listening to others. So it kind of goes both ways. It's not just expressing yourself verbally. It's also, really listening and engaging, right? Having that ability to communicate. Communicate isn't just one-way street. It isn't just you, verbalizing and throwing things out there. It's also really taking things in and processing it and then being able to communicate intellectually in some kind of way. It's both, right? So thank you of those who are giving hearts here, and thank you, and say hello if you're here. Now, the physical way that this sort of manifests and where you will see issues with your throat chakra is there's going to be physical tension around your throat, around your neck, and even like shoulder pain. So like this whole area, and I don't know if many of you know, but I was a massage therapist, and I am a licensed massage therapist, and so I always say, don't just concentrate on the area of pain. There's other areas around it. Everything is linked together. Sometimes a pain that you have on your head is sometimes caused by something going on in your feet. Everything is connected. There's fibers, there's muscles, there's tendons, there's all kinds of fascia and skin and muscles and everything. It's all interconnected, kind of like the fabric of life. We're all kind of interconnected. But anyway, so back to the throat chakra. Don't just think that it's just your throat and your voice box and whatnot. It's actually connected to your jaw. I mean, your communication comes through your throat, through your mouth, through your tongue, and also, through your chest, even through your breath, right? Like you need your breath to be able to vocalize and to speak your truth. So all of this stuff is connected. So the physicality of, any pain that manifests can happen anywhere from here all the way down to here, right? Anywhere in this area. So then the question is, we know what it is when it's balanced. We speak, we listen, and express ourselves openly and authentically. So how do we get there? How do we bring all of this goodness back to balance? And if you guys have any questions so far, please feel free to ask. Okay. So let's get into it, because I have a lot of goodies here to show you guys in terms of the crystals that I brought with me. So first and foremost, I always talk about that reconnecting yourself and reconnecting your chakra and really grounding it and bringing it back to balance always begins with connecting to the earth and anchoring yourself in your environment. It always begins with that because, I mean, hello, we have Mother Earth here. Like, make use of her. Go out in nature, ground yourself, take off your shoes, put your feet in dirt, put it on grass. And if you can't touch it with your hands, you have plants at home, touch that. Like, whatever you can to dissipate some of the tension and the energy in your body, you can move that out into nature, and Mother Nature will be more than happy to transform that stuff into, energy for the earth. So this one is for Cassie. This is for the throat meditation. This is going to be for the throat. We did the heart meditation last week. So first connect with the earth and anchor yourself in your environment. Then find healthy ways for you to calm and soothe. I mean, obviously there's tons of ways that you can soothe your throat. There's calming teas, there's, soothing incense, oils, and, breathing techniques that you can do. And so scents like frankincense, geranium, jasmine, sage, cypress, peppermint, eucalyptus, clove, tea tree, and lavender are just some of the scents that you can use, to really soothe and calm yourself. And I'm sure that a lot of you have seen that when you're sick or when you're under the weather or, when anything's going on with this area here, there's just tons of ways and tons of things that you can do to bring scents and teas and all that stuff into your body to soothe and calm it. Now there's also yoga postures that you can do and asanas that can help stabilize the chakra itself. And I, urge you to go out there and, find there's amazing yogis. I actually follow a woman called Cassandra who does amazing yin yoga on YouTube. She has a channel there, and she's on Instagram and Facebook as well. And she is just amazing at, just incorporating all these beautiful things of yoga and using them, kind of relating them to chakras, to all the different stresses and all these different things. So she's an amazing person. So research and, basically Google Cassandra yin yoga. Okay. So the other thing you can do is energy balancing through meditation or energy healing, which obviously a lot of you know that I'm already an energy healer. So what we do is we find out what the imbalances are. And because I'm also an intuitive healer, I can often tell you sometimes where did this come from and how can we actually resolve it? Sometimes it's not something that's happening right now. Sometimes it's something that's been happening for a while. Sometimes, if you're into that, it's from past lives, from karmic relationship. It could be tons of things that are happening, and part of my work is actually helping you decompress and decompose that, and kind of understand where it's coming from, and then how can you resolve it in the present moment. So we have a question here. Oh, she can't stay. No worries, Jasmine. No worries. Okay. So for those of you who can't stay, don't worry. This is all recorded, and you'll find it in the Facebook group or in IG and also in my YouTube. So you can always circle back and have a look at it. In terms of meditation, after this, I will be doing a live meditation in my Facebook group. So go ahead and pop on over there at Purpose Driven Tribe in Facebook groups. And I'll be doing a meditation right after this. So join me there. And I've been doing this every week, and I help balance that particular chakra. And it's actually really amazing to feel because it gives you a full body balance, but obviously focusing on that particular chakra that day. And you'd be surprised how much just working on one can actually bring balance to the entire body. It's really amazing. Okay, so some other things that we can do are positive affirmations and incantations. I love affirmations, but incantations really reach to me more because I think, well, one, you're using your voice because you're incantating, right? You're actually speaking it out loud. It's almost like, casting a spell, right? Is what they say. Incantating is to cast a spell. And words are extremely powerful. They actually contain a lot of energy. So that's why we always should be careful what we say, but also be purposeful in what you're saying, because what you say actually brings power or disempowers, right? So in this case, do the incantations that help you get out of old habits and to foster new ones. So here are some examples of incantations that you can say. I communicate confidently and with ease. I feel comfortable speaking my mind. I'm balanced in speaking and listening. I'm an active listener. I speak my true thoughts with ease, and I set clear boundaries. Those are all really amazing incantations that are really good for your throat chakra. All right. So let's get into my favorite part, which is working with crystals. And I actually brought a few with me today, except for one. I didn't bring one, but we've talked about it in the past, which is one of my favorites, which is Amazonite. And that one is just beautiful. Let me see if I can get my son to bring it to me. Jaden, can you bring me the aquamarine stone that's on the table in the living room? While he brings me the stone, I can talk about the other ones. So crystals are amazing because, as I mentioned it every week, they're really great at helping to amplify whatever intention you set for it, okay? So it allows you to notice patterns of connecting to your power. No, the other one, the aquamarine one. Connecting to your power, creating self-confidence and enthusiasm, and basically connecting to your true form of expression because you're setting the intention to clear it. The aquamarine one on the double tables in the middle of the living room. Okay, so it's pretty amazing because working with the throat chakra is all about expression. So working with the crystals, you can actually help by setting the intention to amplify your ability to express yourself and to sort of like empower yourself by bringing more energy to who you truly are and allowing it to manifest through your voice. Yes, thank you so much. So one of the crystals that is my favorite is this one, which I've mentioned before, and as I've mentioned, like some of these crystals can serve dual purposes, and most of the time, like the crystals that are the color of the throat of the chakra itself often are closely tied to it, and then there are other stones that are also very connected to it that may not always be the exact color, and that's okay because a lot of them serve dual purposes and actually work with several chakras. This one is one of them, Amazonite. It allows you, and actually it's a heart and throat chakra. So you notice that there's a connection between the heart and the throat, especially with this particular stone. This one allows you to express your heart through communication, especially. So that it basically creates a link between your heart chakra and your throat chakra. Isn't that amazing? Because your heart is amazing, right? It's like your intuitive brain, if you will, because we have several brains. We have our minds, right? We have our hearts, and then we have like our gut, which all give us like an intuitive, like, calling, like, should I do this? Should I do that? Should I not do this? Should I not do that? Meet that person, not meet that person. Well, it's a great thing to have your heart connected to your throat because then it allows you to authentically express yourself. And this stone actually helps you amplify that. So it also improves communication and authentic expression of your truth. So this is Amazonite. That's what it's called, Amazonite. And it's a very, very, very pretty crystal. It's actually like an aquamarine color, and sometimes it's mixed in with grays, as you can see. So another one that's really, really pretty and super beautiful and light. This is really pretty and light one called blue lace agate. It's known as the stone of the diplomat because it allows you to express your thoughts in a way others can truly hear and understand you. So if you've ever been struggling with communicating with someone who just can't seem to hear you, this be the stone for you. Blue lace agate. That is the name of the stone. And it's known again as the stone of the diplomat. And it's also great for fears of public speaking. So I don't know if you guys have ever heard this, but like they say that the biggest fear people have is fear of speaking in public. I've spoken in public a whole lot of times, and I can tell you that that fear doesn't fully ever go away. But you start just getting used to it. And of course, there are tools that can help you reconnect better to yourself and calm and soothe you so that you're able to perform in public. So if you've ever been afraid of, public speaking, and if you have to do it at work, even in small meetings, small groups, or even one-on-one, if you have any issues in communicating with others where it brings you anxiety, I know tons of people who have this issue, right? This is an amazing, amazing stuff for that. It's also great for talking with strangers if you need to like communicate with people you don't know. It balances your throat chakra for those who tend to speak before thinking about the consequences of their words. This is actually a really powerful stone. I can't speak enough about it. As I read more and I express more about it, it's just on so many levels very, very powerful. And it's basically great for if you're in any kind of field of communication. You should like basically have this around. Just have it around, basically. So that's blue lace agate. Now another one that I actually really love to wear is this one. This is chrysocolla. Chrysocolla. And it's actually a really pretty kind of like bluish green stone. It kind of reminds me of like aquamarine, like the waters of the sea, or the beach rather. And this one is known as the stone of peace. It helps you develop patience, kindness, tolerance, compassion, and humility. And it promotes harmony and expansion. So it's actually a really beautiful stone. It's connected also to your throat chakra, and it allows you to, promote harmony in your communications and your connections with people, in your relationships and speaking and all those beautiful things. So chrysocolla is actually a really amazing one. And then finally, one that I feel really connected to is this one. And this one is called lapis lazuli. And, honestly, videos and pictures don't do this one justice. I'm going to just zoom into this and I'm going to just turn it. And I don't know if you guys can see it, but it's beautiful and it has like little hints of gold. So if you see like little shines come out of it, it's because it has like little bits of like gold color embedded in it. And actually, back in the times of Egypt, this was a very sought after stone. If you notice, the crowns, the jewelry, even the colors of the clothes they were wearing were very, very close to this blue color. And they used this, stone in particular, lapis lazuli, because it was considered a stone of royalty. Something to think about. It's actually the stone of truth, and it encourages honesty of the spirit and in the spoken and written word. So it allows, again, encourages honesty of the spirit and in the spoken and written word. And basically you can wear it for all forms of deep communication with people. And again, it's like the stone of truth. And, again, in Egypt, this was super popular to wear in all the jewelry and crowns and all that good stuff. So gorgeous, gorgeous color. Beautiful. And they come in all forms. This is a worry stone because, you can actually go like this and use it when you're worried or when you need some answers. You need some answers. I want some truth, right? Anyway, so I went through 4 of them. Crystals are amazing. They help you amplify your intention. And for your throat chakra, it's amazing because it will help amplify who you truly are and help you put out who you are authentically, which isn't that what we all want at this stage? I feel like there's so much communication out there, and what we really want is the truth, right? I wish every, politician, every, teacher, worker, healer, all of us, I wish we all carried some of these stones with us at all times so that we can really truly be within ourselves and with our truth, basically, in our authentic selves, and how we express that into the world. It would be great just to have that kind of honesty in the world. Anyone with me on that one? We need more honesty. We need more truth. We need more connection. We need to be more, connected not to just ourselves, but to how we communicate with people and all those beautiful things. And these stones are so amazing at helping that happen. So, you can, like I said, you can do a lot of things with these stones. You can program them and set the intention for them and help them be, integrate them into your life so that you can use them to empower you to help each of the chakras that you want to, either heal or bring to balance or, ignite and energize. All those beautiful things help. And as always, as I've mentioned before, I'm going to start posting, actually probably by this Friday. This Friday, I'm going to start posting about the grids. I've already started putting all the packages together, and I'm super, super excited to start publishing some of the grids that I'm going to be putting together. If you haven't heard me talk about grids, grids are formations of stones, like combinations of stones that you put in a specific geometric pattern, because geometry is so amazing and powerful in itself because it creates synergy between, connections between all the crystals. And it helps you truly set intentions for yourself, and it helps you create and manifest whatever it is that you want in your life. So if you want healing, if you want abundance, if you want love, if you want just balance and peace, if you want to just sleep at night, if you want to have less anxiety, all those beautiful things can happen with the power of setting a grid in your home, whether a personal grid for yourself or whether you set the grid in your space. I personally love setting grids in my spaces, and I've been doing them for quite a while now. And if you come to my house, you'll just feel the energy and the vibe in the room. So I look forward to talking about that on Friday. Very, very excited about that. And as always, I am your resource for energy healing and all things creations of grids for your personal needs and your spaces. And next week, we're going to talk about the ajna, which we call the director of your life. This is a very beautiful thing because it's connected to your third eye. It gives you direction. It gives you also guidance as well. And so if you have any questions about any of the chakras I've covered so far, including today's throat chakra, please feel free to comment below. And I'm about to go back into my Facebook group and go live to do a meditation so that we can heal the throat chakra and bring it to balance and, basically empower us to be our most authentic selves. So I hope to see you over there. The Facebook group is called Purpose Driven Tribe, and I'll see you there in a few. Bye, y'all. Namaste.